What's going on, everybody? Chase with IW Hockey here today with Rob from Warrior Hockey at their HQ here in Detroit. And we're gonna talk about the Warrior Stick Customizer. Before we start talking about all the exciting custom specs we can get, let's talk about just the overall inspiration behind the Customizer and what stick families are available in it.
Yeah, so I think inspiration for us was really, we've been offering custom colorways at our pro level for quite a few years. We really wanted to bring that to the retail consumer. So everything that you're seeing at the NHL level, we wanted to try to bring to everybody, really is kind of the inspiration. And then when you look to families of sticks that are available, yeah, it's our top price point in our Alpha family, our Novium family, and our Covert family.
Well, let's hop into these custom specs here. Essentially just walk me through what it's like to customize a stick and what kind of different unique options we have for each type.
Yeah, so I think the first place you'll start obviously is picking the family that you want to be in, whether it's Alpha, Novium, or Covert. And then from there, it's picking the color that you want. So we offer a pretty big assortment of colorways in each one of the families. So that's probably the first place that you're gonna start.
And then when we talk about just the overall feel of these custom sticks, they range greatly. So that's really the texture and the finish. What are a couple options there?
Yeah, so a few options in both of them. So when you talk about textures, we have everything from no texture on it at all to our corner texture, which is exactly that, where there's texture just on the corners of the stick. We have our checker texture, which is kind of this checkerboard pattern that you'll feel up and down the shaft of the stick. And then our pigskin texture, which is just these little dots, almost like a football, really, which is where the pigskin texture comes from. And then from there, we have 4 different finishes as well. We have our typical gloss grip, which is what we're all used to seeing on hockey sticks. Pretty much every hockey stick out there has gloss grip on it. We have our velvet grip, which is a matte finish, but still with that tacky feel to it. So you'll still have some nice grip on the stick. And then 2 different clear finishes. One, a matte clear, so you'll get this really cool matte look to it, but with no grip on it at all. And then a gloss clear, which will have kind of that shiny look to it, but again, no tackiness to it.
And then the other category or option that's the biggest change from what we see at retail is the curve option too. So let's talk about that a bit next.
Yeah, so a huge assortment of curves. Everything from our retail curves that you're used to seeing, the W03s and the W28s, up to some of our pro patterns like a Rasmus Dahlin pro curve on it. So a huge assortment and a lot of choices.
And I really like how a handful of those curves too that aren't readily available at retail at max blade height, we also find in those options too.
Yep, so a nice assortment of max blades here too. I think somewhere around 16 blade patterns overall offered.
And then the other thing that's really unique for the Customizer is your flex options too. So let's move on to that.
Yeah, so a good assortment of flexes. So same thing, you'll get kind of those typical 75, 85s, but then even if you want to really fine tune it into an 80 flex or a 70 flex, some things that you maybe aren't getting out of the catalog, really kind of covering the large assortment, or even if you're really going big up to a 105 and that sort of thing, those big corn-fed boys.
Yeah. And those big corn-fed boys are probably gonna go with that max height option too at 63 inches. And then we have that traditional 60 inch. So at the time right now, it's just available in senior, right?
Yep, senior only right now.
And then last but not least, you're gonna pick your handedness, whether that's left or right.
Yep, left-handed or right-handed through there. And then really finalizing it with a custom name bar. So being able to print your name on the stick. So your stick sitting on the bench of your team or in your hands is gonna look just like an NHL player's stick.
Well, speaking of, which factory is this gonna come out of?
Yeah, so this comes out of our exact same factory that makes our pro sticks and off the same exact line. So your stick might be made right behind Leon Draisaitl's stick or Brad Marchand's stick.
If only they can make you shoot like them too.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Well, Rob, hey, thanks so much. And this is just such an exciting program. We're really excited to launch with you.
Yeah, us too.
And then for you at home that's ready to start customizing your Warrior stick, head over to icewarehouse.com.